All right, good morning, guys. All right, so I felt a little bad about last week, just a little bit. Not too bad, but a little bit. It's been a long time since I have preached that long. Actually, I think that was my record. It's probably the longest I've ever preached. Uh, I'm sure y'all probably felt it a little bit. Nobody amen that. So today's going to be a little. Today's going to be a little bit shorter, just a little bit. Now it's going to be a lot shorter. But today we're going to continue our lesson series, our sermon series in Hosea, because me and Josh, we did not plan that, and that was awesome, by the way. What you were telling us about the first song, that was really cool. But I think one of the goals of us studying Hosea is I want you all to understand that the problems that we face today, the same problems that people faced a generation ago, and 10 generations ago, and during the time of Jesus, and all the way back during the time of Hosea. Like, technology has changed a little bit, right? Fashion trends, those might change a little bit, but morality is still the same as far as struggles. So here we go. Last week was when the world looks tasty. And y'all remember the chocolate cake? And Lisa was like, yeah, we could eat chocolate cake every meal. I'm like, oh man, shouldn't have said that. All right, remember the Big Mac? I'm like, have y'all ever got a Big Mac that looked like that? I've never seen a Big Mac like that, right? All right. So today is all right. So we talked about when the world looks tasty. So today is going to be when the world's food just doesn't fill me. Anybody else? Anybody in here? When the world's food does not fill you? Okay. This is a this is a big deal. So this is a good picture right here. How about this? You ever had a leaky bucket? That's what this is like. The world's makes its living off of repetitive, instant gratification. Y'all know what instant gratification is? Like that, I want that quick whatever, right? It's like when you're at the checkout, what are they selling you? Overpriced candy. If you'll just go back to the candy aisle, you can get 3 times the amount of candy for the same price. Paula knows, right? You can get like it's a way better deal, but what are they trying to do? You're like, oh, you're going right at the door, just like this quick little, oh man, it's going to be great, right? Instant gratification. The world makes its living off of trapping you into repetitive, instant gratification. But you know what they don't tell you what that causes? It causes prolonged misery. Instant gratification comes with prolonged misery. Okay, so what Jesus is going to offer is the opposite of that. And this is weird to say, but it's going to make sense when I talk more about it. All right, so the world gives you instant gratification with prolonged misery. Y'all ready? Here's the swap. Jesus gives you instant sacrifice with prolonged fulfillment. Here we go. Look at this list, guys. How about this? Like, oh man, I'd like to take a couple of these off there. Kind of hurts. But phones, y'all know what the average, just looking up the average time on a phone every day is 3.5 to 5 hours a day. 3.5. And you know, the 3.5 hours, that's like our baby boomers, right? That's not our Gen Z. That's not our teenagers. Like 5 hours a day of just like, right? Or how about social media? Anybody ever got on social media and had a hard time getting off of social media? Anybody ever been like scrolling through stuff and you're just like, oh, that's how these short clips got more popular? TikTok, right? Because, hey, let's give you instant gratification and it's going to make you do what? Swipe and you're going to go for another one. You're going to swipe and go for another one. And before you know it, it's like, it's 1:30. I got to get up at 6. What am I doing with my life? And you're just like, scroll, 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 scroll. Gambling. Like, that was a thing. No, you know how many ads I get on my phone for DraftKings? Like sports are going right now. It's like DraftKings, DraftKings, DraftKings. Come on, get your money in, place your bets. Hey, we'll give you the first however much free. Because if we can just get you in there with that instant gratification, we can prolong your misery. But we're not going to tell you that part. Work never tries to pull more out of you. No, we've never heard of a thing called a workaholic. Caffeine. Let's just skip that one, okay? Because we like caffeine. All right. Man, this happened the other day. It was like I made a cup of coffee. I was like, oh, man, I love this. Like, man, good coffee with some half and half. With a bunch of brown sugar. That's what I'm talking about. And then I got done with that. I was like, I'm about to go out the door. I should probably grab another cup before I go, just give me a little extra boost. Took another cup. When, did work, ate lunch. I was like, after lunch, we should treat ourselves. Go get a cup of coffee. I was like, I gotta get a cup of coffee. And then we get home, mom and dad, she's like, do y'all want some coffee? I'm like, yeah, let's get some coffee. It's like caffeine, 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 right? Because, man, that little gives you that little pep in your step. Doesn't tell you about these prolonged miserable effects, right? Where's the bathroom? All right. Nicotine, gaming. Do y'all remember, like, if you ever just watch a video of like the evolution of gaming, like what it started on, like a little like ding, ding, like this is the greatest thing ever. It's like, man, you poor creatures, And you know where it's at now? Like it got more popular into, like playing through a whole story, campaign mode, And now it's what? It's online gameplay. You know what online gameplay also means? Never ending. You can't pause it. You can't you can't beat it. You can't finish it, right? I wonder who came up with that. Interesting. We want to make games to where it's instant gratification with prolonged misery. And I'm not like anti all this list, guys, in moderation, okay? But just take the point with what it is, all right? I like playing video games once in a while, but follow the point. Same thing with alcohol, same thing with illegal drugs and prescribed drugs, same thing with some. Thank you, Juicy. Somebody else said we were working at mom and dad's, no joke, like every day this week, every day, and every day, the Amazon truck came up the driveway. I was like, "Do you ever take a break?" She's like, sometimes we don't come here. Like, good night. Yeah, yeah. All right, shopping. Oh, dude, I don't know if y'all have noticed this. Have y'all been on Amazon Prime, like watching TV? They now have it to where their ads, they've got a little button on the top where you can just add it to your cart. Like they will be advertising, shampoo, and it's like, just click this button. We'll go ahead and put it in your cart for you. Okay. Instant gratification. Sugar's good for you. Subscriptions, pornography. What is it? It's like, let's use pornography. We don't like to talk about that, but let's use that. It's never advertised right into where you're going to go, is it? It's always like, let's get you just on this little bread trail trump, right? Is that it? Bread. What did I say? Bread trail trump? Good night. Hang on. Yeah, I need some more coffee. Red Crail Trump. Wow. Man, that's pretty bad. Okay. Have I been doing that more than once already? Or is that the first one? Okay. Okay. See? See? What? Yeah. Yeah, be more Pacific, stuff like that. All right. So anyway, like this happened the other day. I told Sam about this. I am on uh like like BibleGateway.com or whatever. I'm like reading, John 1 preparing for the lesson. And ads pop up. And for some reason, Kelsey never gets these ads, you know, using the same computer. There's not a different login, there's nothing. And when I get these ads, you know what it's always advertising? It's like bathing suits, It's like all that sort of thing. It's like, why when Kelsey gets on there, it's, dog food. Who cares? Right? Do what? That's right. Because she'd be shopping. Yeah. Oh, we don't need to get into all that conspiracy stuff. I'm telling you. So here's my point, guys. What it the way the world is designed is it's trying to find an in into your life, right? It's trying to find a, a quick fix. It's trying to find a click, a clickbait, instant gratification. And I just think this is kind of interesting right here. You know what I don't know if this is the top 10, but you know what the top market cap companies are? Guess what industries they deal with? all the stuff that we just talked about. You know where the money is? Here's where the money's at. Uh, NVIDIA, I was like, I don't even know what that is. It's a technology company that pioneered accelerated computing, known for designing high-performance graphic processing unit, GPUs, and creating AI platforms and systems. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon. You know what Meta is? Facebook, Broadcom, TSMC, Tesla, and Berkshire Hathaway. All of those are software, uh, oil and gas, which basically need for energy. It's computer making parts, it's software making parts for technology, because technology is like the number one gateway to get to people's what? Instant gratification. Even food. How do you get there? Through instant gratification. Commercials, through like Walmart delivers stuff, right? Amazon delivers stuff. Subscribe and save. Subscribe and you'll save a little bit more. Okay, so here's where we're going with this. The world is designed, and just by financial correspondence, where's the money at? Where's the money at? It is in the places where we can keep people addicted to our products. Have y'all ever heard of like big pharma companies? What are big pharma? Am I like anti-medicine? Absolutely not. I'm not. Am I anti-Amazon? Nope. I love Amazon. But everything is geared for you to get hooked in and to stay hooked in and to keep coming back. So let's do a little bit of recap real quick, okay? Y'all remember this? Big picture. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. In the beginning, Genesis 49, Jacob, also known as Israel, he has how many kids? 12. And he tells one of them, Judah, your seed is going to have all of our kingly descendants, right? Okay, so then you follow that lineage, and you get to, remember the people, the Israelites, they decided we're going to pick our own king, and they picked Saul, but what tribe was he from? Benjamin. Wrong one. He was never going to be the right king, right? And so then God's like, okay, I'm going to pick a king for you, and who does he pick? It's on the screen. David. Y'all here right now? And then he picked David. All right, remember it one more time, guys. Who did God pick? David. All right. So God picks David, and then in 2 Samuel 7, David is like, God, you're such an awesome God. I want to build you a permanent house, a dwelling place for you, for the Ark of the Covenant. We've had this pop-up tent that we're taking up and down, the tabernacle, right? I'm ready to build you a house. And remember what God says? It's like, I appreciate that, dude, but at the end of the day, the earth is my footstool. You cannot build a house for me. I appreciate it. It's a nice gesture. But I'm the creator of the universe, right? He's like, actually, you wanted to bless me. I'm going to bless you. I'm going to create a house of kings through your descendants. And he makes this promise to David. David, through your descendants, a king will always sit on the throne. So now you follow David's descendants, and you get over here to Matthew, and who is the last king that we read about in Matthew chapter 1, the prophesied king who is going to be the King of Kings who would reign forever. Jesus. Y'all get that right. This is a big deal. Who is the King of Kings who will reign forever? Jesus. Okay. So this promise was made to David, and we're going to have some kings, but we're going to get to Jesus because he's the son of David, the tribe of Judah. He is qualified. He's the guy. And he is now reigning forever and ever. All right, so let's go back to the Old Testament. So backwards. So they picked Saul. Wrong one. God picks David. David's first son is Solomon, right? Solomon's next son is Rehoboam. I mean, it took 3 generations. By the 3rd generation, what happens to the kingdom? It splits, okay? So the kingdom splits. And Jeroboam, who is the captain, he's not even royalty, right? He's not a king, he's nothing. Jeroboam takes 10 of the tribes to the north, that's the yellow. Rehoboam keeps 2 of the tribes to the south, and now the kingdom is split. And in the south, what do you have? What city? Starts with a J. Jerusalem, right? It's okay. So Jerusalem is the holy city of God, and what big structure is there? The temple, right? Okay. So they've got the right holy city, the right temple. They have the correct mountain to worship on, the holy mountain of God. where the 10 Commandments were given, all that stuff. The north, what do they have? Nothing. There's nothing about it that is correct. So 10 of the 12 tribes decided, we are going to leave your kingdom, follow this Nimrod, and just go start our own kingdom. And none of this stuff checks out. Like, we have no good reason to believe that this is going to work. We don't have the right city. We don't have the right temple. We don't have the right mountain. We don't even have the right tribe to have a king over our country. Do y'all see all the problems with that? Just say, yeah, I'll move on. Man, guys, okay. So that's why, like in John 4, the Samaritan woman, and remember, Samaritans are Jews from the north that have mixed breeding with the Assyrians. Okay, that's why full-blooded Jews hated them. They're like, oh, it's like a half-breed. Okay, so that's why in John 4, when the Samaritan woman meets Jesus at the well, she's like, which mountain's the correct mountain to worship on? And what does he say? Well, the Jews have the correct mountain. I guess this is the right one. Y'all got the wrong one. But there's a coming an hour in which true worshipers of God will worship in what? Spirit and truth. AKA, there will be no more holy mountain. It won't matter, right? Where are you allowed to go worship, guys? Where? Anywhere. Anywhere will work. Does not matter. Like before, the temple, I don't know if y'all noticed, that's a little fun fact. Like, they wanted to know which direction the temple was from where they lived. Like, let's say the temple was that direction, so that when I pray, which way do I pray? That way towards the temple, right? That's an Old Testament thing. But now, there is no temple, there is no holy mountain, there is no holy city. So where are we allowed to pray to? Wherever you want. Wherever you want. Do we have to make a special trip to a holy city to receive forgiveness of sins? No, we don't. Do we have to go find the priest or the high priest? No, we don't, because who's our high priest? Jesus is. And we don't have to go to some holy city because we're a part of a holy city, because there's a new heavens and a new earth and a new Jerusalem. Thank God. Okay. I know, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Okay. So Saul, David, Solomon. Then you get to, here's the kingdom split, Rehoboam. All right, then you got down there to Jeroboam, the time of Hosea. And it's not going to be that many more years. You get those big red bars. That's when the enemies are going to come in and just destroy the nations. And now they're going to be slaves and captives again. So remember, Hosea is a prophet that God sent. Imagine this job. But God sent Hosea, your job, I want you to minister for me. Sweet. What church do you want me to go to? You know, what's my role? You know, am I like, lead preacher, youth preacher? What do you want me doing? Marriage guy? Family involvement? What am I doing? And you know what God says? I want you to go find a harlot. You should go find a prostitute. That's the job I have for you. Like, are you sure that's what you want me to do? Yep, that's it. Because I'm going to illustrate what it's like to be treated by my people. My people are cheating on me. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? It's not just like they did that, but who did that? I did that. So when you're looking at Hosea 3, 1 to 2, the Lord said to me, to Hosea, go again, love a woman who is loved by her husband. So this woman, Gomer, terrible name, but Gomer, her husband adores her. Does God adore us? God adores us. He loves us. And he said, you go find that woman, yet an adulteress, even as the Lord loves the sons of Israel. And here's that weird phrase that we're going to want to maybe chuckle at a little bit, but let's think about this. God loves the sons of Israel, like Hosea is going to love Gomer, but like Gomer left Hosea for the world, what does the Israelites want to do? They turn to other gods and love raisin cakes, which apparently Novella says raisin cakes are a real thing. That's like a real snack. I had no idea. Anybody else had a raisin cake? Well, of course Paula has. I mean, she grew up with you, but anyway, okay. So y'all think about this, guys. It's like that was the modern day equivalent of the chocolate cake, right? Everybody likes chocolate cake, right? Hang on. Anybody not like chocolate cake? Get out of here. Are you kidding me? You like chocolate cake? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, all right. I thought chocolate cake was delicious. Though they turned to other gods and love raisin cakes. So what are the Israelites doing? They're like, man, we got problems. We want solutions. Where are we going to go to look for help? Let me get on my phone. Let me stop by the store on the way home. Let me click on this thing. Let me get that instant gratification to self-soothe. But what happens with instant gratification and self-soothing? It's instant and it's gratifying, but it is prolonged misery. And the Israelites saw the other nations around them, and they saw it as like, man, that's just like chocolate cake. Man, chocolate cake is good, guys. I like chocolate cake. It does taste good in the moment. If you eat chocolate cake for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Paula, just bear with me, okay? All right, guys. If you eat the purple bag mixed berry Skittles, best Skittles on the market, all right? If you eat Skittles for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like day one, are you going to notice any problems? You'd be all right. Try doing that new diet for 60 days. The all Skittles diet for what are you going to look like after 60 days? Like, you're going to look like Will. All right. You can't, it's not sustainable, is it, church? It's good for a little bit of moment, but it's not sustainable. You know what God says? What the people say in Exodus 16:3, when God's delivered them out of Egypt, like it's like a broken record, okay? When God delivers them out of Egypt, and you remember what happened to them in Egypt? You remember what they were there? They weren't kings. What were they? Slaves. And Pharaoh keeps making their job harder and harder and harder. It was really bad, right? And so they get delivered out of Egypt. And you know what they say once they get out in the wilderness? They have the audacity to be like, you know, if we could just go back, man, there's such fine dining back in Egypt. Can y'all believe I'm not making this up? I mean, it doesn't say fine dining. That's Will's translation. But it's saying, like, I don't know, 5 chapters after they've left their imprisonment, what are they wanting to do? Like, let's go back. You know how they remember it? Better than it actually was. They're like, man, in Egypt, we had the best food ever. Like, you are nuts. Like with the Israelites in Hosea's time, they're like, but the other kingdoms, they've got chocolate cake. Oh man, that stuff is so good. But you know what God offers? This is what God offers. You go on down and you look after that. When they start complaining, here's what God says. All right, we're going to fix this right now. Tomorrow morning, when y'all get up, the dew of the earth is going to do something. And it's going to make this stuff that you're not going to know what it is. So you're going to call it manna. And you know what that is? Trick question. I don't know what it is. Don't know. But it's like bread. And you know how often that's going to happen? He says, don't even keep leftovers. I know, guys. Don't even keep leftovers. Because you know what's going to happen tomorrow morning? What? It's going to happen again. And you know what's going to happen the next morning? It's going to happen again. And you know what? On top of that, you know what's going to happen this evening? Quail, as many as you can see, are going to land, and you're going to have meat to eat. And don't keep any of them. Because you know what's going to happen tomorrow evening? There's going to be more quail. And you know what's going to happen the next evening? There's going to be more quail. So when they are complaining, man, we wish we could just go back to Egypt to the fine dining, like you are remembering it all wrong. You know what God says? For every morning and every evening till the day that you walk into the promised land, I will feed you. You will not be hungry. And I will feed you food that is sustainable. You can live off of bread and meat, right? Y'all ever heard meat and potatoes? Yeah, that's a real thing. You can live off of that. You can't live off of candy every day. You can't. It may have calories. It doesn't have nutrients. There's a difference. So the world offers, oh, this stuff looks so good. You know what that also means? Is sometimes the stuff that God offers may not be super flashy. but it will keep you alive. And not just alive, but it will keep you abundantly living. Okay, so Exodus, we have another example of them complaining. And then you have, well, what's God's food? God's food is like unlimited manna, unlimited quail. And then you're like, well, here's another example. What about the rich man and Lazarus? Y'all know Luke 16? There's a rich man. He habitually dressed in purple and fine linen, joyously living in splendor every day. What does that mean? He got everything he wanted, right? He must be happy. He must be happy. He's got all the food he wants. He's got all the stuff he wants. He's got instant gratification every day his whole life. Prolonged misery. And then there was a poor man named Lazarus. He was laid at his gate, covered with sores and longing to be fed with the crumbs, said it right that time, the crumbs which were falling from the rich man's table. Besides, even the dogs were coming and licking his sores. Was he having instant gratification every day? No, he was having the opposite. He was kind of having instant sacrifice every day, but he's going to have prolonged satisfaction. Now, the poor man died and was carried away by the angels to Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried in Hades. He lifted up his eyes, being in torment, and he saw Abraham far away and Lazarus in his bosom. And he cried out and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool off my tongue, for I am in agony in this flame. But Abraham said, Child, remember that during your life you received your good things, and likewise Lazarus bad things. But now he is being comforted, and you are in agony. Here's the moral of that story. If you go back 5 verses before Luke 16:19, it says that the Pharisees loved money. So Jesus tells them this story, which is like, money doesn't last forever. Right, guys? Y'all like money? All right, we got some truth tellers in here. Good. I like money. I do. I like doing stuff with money. I like buying things with money. I like paying off bills. I like giving money. I like money. Money does not last forever. Money will let you down. So the rich man put his hope and his joy in the instant gratification of money. And he got to enjoy some things. I mean, he had some good times. I mean, not gonna lie, he had some good times. And the poor man, I mean, he was poor. And it kind of stunk for a while. But in the end, the rich man received agony and the poor man received comfort. So here's when the world looks tasty. When the world looks tasty, you know, it looks good, but when the world is not fulfilling me, here's what Jesus says. Jesus said, the woman at the well in John 4, everyone who drinks of this water will be thirsty again, but whoever drinks of the water that I will give him will never be thirsty again. The water that I will give him will become in him a spring of water welling up to eternal life. So eternal water, right? It's like a spring that does not end. It's like, let me give you that bucket and plug all the holes so that you can start being fulfilled. And then he also says in John 6, how about bread? Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst. And then he goes on to verse 58. And he does this full circle to the manna thing in the wilderness. And he says, this is the bread that came down from heaven, like the manna used to do. I have come down from heaven, not like the bread that the fathers ate, because they ate the manna, and what happened to them? They died. But you eat the bread that God is going to give you from heaven, and what's going to happen to you? You're going to live forever. Whoever feeds on this bread will live forever. John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. All right. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I want to show you all kind of a, can I show you all kind of a disturbing picture? You're like, I don't know if I should say yes or not. Okay. I want to show you all a sad picture. Okay. And if it really bothers you, you don't have to look at it. But I want y'all to look at it and just think about it for just a minute. And I want y'all to think about these two things. Last week we talked about when the world looks tasty. The world, let me take that back. Satan is good at his job. I mean, he's really good at his job. But Satan came to steal, kill, and destroy. And I want you to think about that the world does not satisfy. There's a tidbit of pleasure. Otherwise, we wouldn't go back and keep doing it, would we, guys? But there's a tidbit of pleasure, but there's something about it that is not fulfilling. Okay? Y'all look at this picture and think about these two ideas. Man. This is what it's like consuming food from the table that Satan prepares for us. It does not sustain us. Y'all know Psalm 23? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. You know that? And there's a part of that that says, He prepares a table for me where? You know what that means? Is no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad it gets, God's like, bring your own chair. Because we're going to have a cookout. No matter how bad it gets, I'm setting a table up for you. We're going to eat. We're going to dine like kings. Because no matter what you're going through, my table is fulfilling. So here's my prayer for you guys, and then we're gonna sing a new song. It may be a solo, but we're gonna try it. Here's my prayer, guys. I pray someone is ready to start living. Anybody agree with that prayer? I pray the ashamed and guilty can testify with confidence. Anybody agree with that prayer? Anybody ever been ashamed or guilty? Okay. I pray the tired and weary are ready to be at rest. Anybody agree with that prayer? I pray that those secluded and hiding can step out boldly. Anybody agree with that prayer? Man, that was Thursday night. You know what happens when we're at the bottom of the barrel? When we're making our bad decisions? Man, somebody else said it. I was like, man, that's good. You know what we tend to do? Shrink. Seclude. I want to get away from my consequences. I want to get away from the world. I want to get away from people calling out the error in my life. I want to just go be in my little bubble, and I just want to fester on my terribleness. I want to be in a depressed state. And I pray that those secluded and hiding can step out boldly. I pray that the afraid will be forever confident. You know what phrase occurs in the Bible a whole lot? Do not fear. And you know why we don't fear? Because God. Do not be, if anybody is in here and you're fearful, I pray that you would have the confidence and the boldness that only God can give you. I pray that the prideful will be humbled. Anybody agree with that prayer? Pride gets in the way. I feel like you have good acronyms for that. Is there a good one for that, Jared? What is it? Okay, that's all right. I feel like there's one of the ones about like me or I or. Mm. Yeah. Mm. Wow. I pray that humility would overcome the pride in this room. And the last one is I pray that the victims and the abused will walk victoriously. Y'all may not know it, probably do, but playing the victim card is a problem. That's a problem. Like it's a problem when you start to use it as a crutch. And that does not take away from the things that people have experienced. There's probably people in this room that have been victimized, that have been abused. And I'm not saying no sympathy, but I'm praying that people that have been victims and the people that have been abused will walk victoriously. Because Jesus came here to set us free and to liberate us from the bondage of sin and to live an abundant life. It's a good life, church. Man, that was a good amen point, and y'all kind of left me high and dry there. Okay, all right, church, it's a good life. You don't have to be here. I don't have to be here. I'm here because I want to be here. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do it like this happened with one of the boys the other day. I was explaining to him, like, look, right now, you clean your room because you have to. You clean your room because I tell you to. But the day that you understand that I will take a bullet for you and I will give you, if you need a heart transplant, I will give you my heart. The day that you understand that, you'll start cleaning your room without having to be told. Right? And God gave us what? His only son. He gave us everything to make sure, not that we have a good, cancer-free life, and I'd love to not have cancer, and not that we would all live to be 99 years old, although I wouldn't mind living, to be older. I don't know if I want to live that long, all right? It's like, not that he doesn't want us to be rich and have money and all that sort of stuff, but every person that Jesus healed still ended up dying. Jesus didn't come here to heal people's bones and their bruises. He came here to prove that he could forgive you of your sin. That's the mission. That's the goal. Jesus came here to save you from your sin. And when the world around you is falling apart, and the world around you has got that yummy little instant gratification, but you still feel like you're in a trap, and you go back for a little more instant gratification, and it still feels like you're trapped, and you're just like, I want to wake up from this nightmare. I'm ready to be done with this. Jesus is there to give you something sustaining, and it will keep you fulfilled for the rest of your life. And like, how much fulfilled? More than you can ever want. You ain't never going to have leftovers. You're never going to need to keep leftovers because there's more coming in the morning. There's more coming in the evening. There's more coming tomorrow. It is more and more and more. And when you get full, good. When your cup is up to the rim, that's fine. It's going to be overflowing because that's what God offers you. Okay, so let's try this, okay? Anybody know this song? This is how I fight my battles. 4 of us. 5. Okay, it's gonna be good. Maybe 6, maybe Calvin. This is how I fight my battles. All right, I was gonna sing this beginning part, but it's really gonna be a solo, so I don't want to do that. But this is the Psalm 23:5. You prepare for me a table where? In the presence of my enemies. Your body and your blood was shed for me. We're gonna take the Lord's Supper in a little bit. Isn't that weird? You're like, there's no way anybody gets full off of that. But you know who gets full off of that? Children of God. Because we're not talking about filling your stomachs. We're talking about filling your souls. And God will fill our soul. So we're going to try this. Let me just give you a little, this is kind of how the tune goes, okay? This is how I fight my battle. I'm not trying to manipulate anybody in this church. Do y'all understand me when I say this? All right, me and Josh do. I'm not trying to manipulate you guys. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty when you don't need to feel guilty, but here's what I am saying. This is how I fight my battles. It's because when it looks like I'm surrounded, who am I surrounded by? I am surrounded by God. And my victory, my food, my life-sustaining food is in Jesus. We're going to stand and sing this song. And if you feel like you are in Satan's trap and you're ready to eat some real good food that's going to last, it's going to sustain you, it's going to keep you healthy, it's going to leave you abundant, then you should come forward. You should come down here when this works out. Jovan, Josh, me, somebody's going to grab a hold of you and give you a hug, even if you don't want it. We're going to pray with you. I'm probably going to get the whole church to pray for you because we want everybody to walk out of here today, like Jared says at the end of his, meeting stuff. Everybody at peace? Man, that's a good line, Jared. I want everybody to walk out. Everybody at peace? Let's walk out of here at peace. And if you are at peace, then this song is only meant to remind you and to encourage you where we should be putting our trust. Let's all stand, okay?
Hey there, this is Josh Johnston. I'm an elder and teach the youth group. I hope you liked the video. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to get notifications when we post videos or when we are live. Even better, join us in person at 1 Scenic Lane, Horse Branch, Kentucky 42349. We meet Sunday at 9:30 for Sunday school, then worship service following at 10:30. Then on Wednesday evenings at 6:30 we have classes for adults, teens, and children. Our mission is to be a family that surrenders to Jesus and glorifies God by loving all people and making disciples as we go, and you are welcome.